Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite aspiring revolutionary here, a wandering author, reminding you that we are all the authors of our own lives. As always, my message remains the same: spend less, live more, earn your freedom with frugality. Today, we're going to be talking about another nameless virtue. The word we're going to use in its place for it is boastfulness, which Aristotle is pretty clear that errs towards the vice or the extreme. But really, he opens chapter 7 by clarifying that what we're talking about is a very specific type of self-honesty, which is in regards to truthfulness and falsehood, where truth in general is noble and praiseworthy, while falsehood is base and reprehensible. So, again, my dogs love to get some attention. So, truth is noble and praiseworthy, while falsehood is base and reprehensible. Pretty straightforward, right? So, this is a kind of self-honesty that we exemplify whenever we interact with other people. We've all met a boaster. You know, the guy that loves to run his mouth. Aristotle put it like this: he's the guy who pretends to have credible qualities that he does not possess. So, you know, he's the guy who says that he climbed Mount Everest even though he's never even touched a Stairmaster. At the same time, we've also got the self-deprecator, who's at the other end of our virtuous mean. Again, remember, for Aristotle, he decides what good behavior is by looking at bad behavior first, on either extreme. And then he decides, well, you know, if those are the two bad ends, then the golden mean must be where virtuous behavior is. So, and he says that here, the very first statement: we shall better understand the nature of the moral character if we examine its qualities one by one, which is what we've been doing this whole time. Truthfulness and falsehood similarly displayed in word and deed, and in one's personal preferences. So, that's what this virtue is about. It's about how honest we are to ourselves and to other people with our words, our deeds, and preferences. So, the boaster is a man who pretends to have credible qualities that he does not possess. I already went over that. Aristotle's worldview is forgiving enough to admit a boastful man may possess some degree of competency, although he possesses it in a lesser degree than he makes out. So, you know, maybe that guy that said he climbed Mount Everest didn't actually climb Mount Everest. Maybe he just climbed like a mountain in the Appalachians. And if you know mountains, the ones in Appalachia are relatively small. I mean, I climbed a couple of them. They're pretty big. It's not a small feat, but it's definitely no Mount Everest. At the same time, the self-deprecator, this is that guy that's always laughing at himself, you know. I actually kind of fell into this, and seeing that Aristotle actually says it's a vice. So in some degree, it's not bad, though. He's a little more specific with this one. He says that, you know, the boaster, even though he's kind of like braggadocious, he's more foolish than he is vicious with what he's doing. The person with virtuous self-honesty is a straightforward sort of man who is sincere both in behavior and in speech, and admits his own qualifications without either exaggeration or understatement. So this is a guy that just tells you like it is about himself all the time. And when do we show our character? And I'm talking about our moral character. When do we show that the most? Well, Aristotle says that we display it always whenever there are no ulterior motives guiding our actions. So if they're like the stuff that we do without anything else motivating us, that reflects our character. This right here is what I do. So, I don't know what that says about me. I guess I'm probably crazy, right? Aristotle distinguishes this virtue, one related to truth, and says that it's a particular type of self-honesty, and that this sincerity, or authenticity, is praiseworthy because it stabilizes, strengthens, and bolsters your character. And then he goes on to say, the sincere man will diverge from the truth, if at all, in the direction of understatement, rather than exaggeration, since this appears in better taste, as all excess is offensive. Which to me, obviously, it seems pretty natural that understating your accomplishments is kind of less bad than exaggerating them, right? But the whole part where he says all excess, oh, I didn't put that on there. So he follows up this phrase with, as all excess is offensive. So anything to the extreme is offensive to Aristotle. Hashtag median, right? So if a guy pretends to be better than he is for no reason, Aristotle's contention is that this guy's of inferior character. But he does balance the statement by adding that he appears to be more foolish than he is vicious. So he goes on to talk about boastfulness, and he kind of differentiates. So people may lie for a number of reasons, and the reason they're lying and what they're lying about determines how crappy of a person they are in Aristotle's eyes. We can divide liars according to their intent. First, we have those who are lying for its own sake. And then we have those who lie to get reputation or profit. Reputation, for Aristotle, is often, he uses the word honor. You know? So, and this is his opinion of guys who do it for profit. Those who do so for profit pretend to accomplishments that are useful to their fellows, and also can be counterfeited without detection, such as philosophy or medicine. So, these guys are charlatans, in other words. They will pretend to be people like doctors or philosophers, and use it for their own gain, right? So on the whole, self-deprecators, which is on the other side, are people who understate their own merit. And Aristotle says that they seem like they're of more refined character. I got to agree. A man who knows how to, be a little reserved is different experience than the boaster, right? So, for we all feel this motive, the motive underlying this form of insincerity is not gain, but dislike of ostentation. So what motivates the self-deprecator? The dude who's laughing at himself. Well, Aristotle's belief is that he dislikes ostentation. He doesn't want to be one of those rich, braggy guys. I can agree with that. And then he goes, so those who disclaim merely trifling or obvious distinctions are called affected humbugs. Sometimes such mock humility seems to be boastfulness, but dressed like a Spartan. So again, a little bit of self-deprecation, although to the viceful extreme, isn't necessarily bad, and it can make you seem slightly more refined. But once you start deprecating yourself, or like saying it like disregarding merely trifling or obvious distinctions, stuff that you really have earned, not only are you acting small-souled, but your humility is fake. He can tell it, and he thinks that it seems like a boastful Spartan. So yeah, hashtag served, right? The next one we're going to go over is buffoonery and wit, which is kind of like how funny you are, how much do other people enjoy having you around in some ways. I think tomorrow I'm going to start taking some notes on history again. I've been experimenting for like the last 4 or 5 days with my whiteboard. I'm starting to like that. I definitely like it for the Nichomachean ethics. It's easier to visualize everything, and I kind of like having the prop. I don't know if it'll be as easy to put history up on a board like this, though. I definitely need to go back to Greek history and American history again soon, though. I've got like 20 or 30 of these pre-made, so that way whenever I start working full-time, I'll still be able to stay busy. But that's really all I've got for you guys today. This is a wandering author here, reminding you that we are all the authors of our own lives. What are you guys doing in order to inspire, uplift, and empower your community today? Because this world isn't changing unless we all do our part. You can count on me to do mine daily. Till next time, I love y'all.